just leading up to Kentucky, I felt like we had an opportunity to win. Just everybody, how focused we were that week before the game and how focused everybody was on playing that game and how everybody was talking so positive, saying we're going to win, we're going to beat them and everything like that.
Coming into the Kentucky week, there in that first week in December, there was a lot of the feel that we used to have during the night years when a big game was going to occur in Assembly Hall.
I mean, this place was buzzing, and as soon as they opened the doors and allowed fans to start streaming in, they did so.
We had tents starting to show up for the first time in memory. Students on Monday, Tuesday previous thinking, we'll just camp out here since it's general admission for the first 25 rows of the east side.
We were fortunate enough to get GA tickets for this game, and we only get 2 a year. We were fortunate enough to get it for the Kentucky game. They're the number 1 team in the country, and we want to be in the first row when we make history.
We had these kids out there freezing to death, and college students being what they were, it wasn't exactly like they had Arctic parkas and snow tents and stuff out there. They had like their pillow and that was about it. So we really felt like we had a potential safety issue out there, and we didn't want to kind of crush the enthusiasm, but also we didn't want to put the kids in harm's way.
And after we came to a great arrangement with them that they could go back home, study for finals, and get warm, and then come back on the morning of the game, that worked out really well. And those first students in were absolutely thrilled. They got to meet Dick Vitale and get their pictures taken.
We were walking in with our kooky costumes and our signs, and just to see Dick Vitale down there, it was pretty surreal.
The electricity in here is unreal right now. We're going to be so loud today. I don't think there's a louder stadium in college basketball.
The place was electric, and there was only the GA people that had started the camp to be let in, and it was already getting pretty crazy. But once the whole student section was let in, it was the loudest thing I've ever heard.
Again, I knew when I was walking down the ramp from the practice facility and I could hear the students an hour before the game that things were charged up in there.
You could just feel, just walking into the building, maybe it's because I knew Indiana was playing Kentucky, but you could feel an excitement about this particular ball game.
We've been here for 4 years now. We've been with this team through thick and thin. This program started back from rock bottom when Tom Crean came in, and they're about to show the nation that we're back.
I went into Calbert's office the day before the game, and I said, how's it going to go? And he said, if we play our game, we'll beat them by 10. And I remember telling my family that and being so excited about that.
Kentucky was good. They're a very, very good team. They're very, very talented. They do a lot of things well. But what people didn't realize, we do a lot of things well, too.
It had the makings of a title fight, and the Indiana crowd was primed and ready. The Hoosiers took it right to the Wildcats as Jordan Holes and Christian Watford hit big shots, and Cody Zeller helped get Big Blue in foul trouble. The Hoosiers led 30-22 before a late first half surge made it 30-29 at intermission.
The students did an unbelievable job in that game. Sound-wise, somewhere around 115, 118 decibels is usually akin to standing at the back of a 747 jet engine. And we consistently were pegging out at that type of a decibel reading on the game.
The Hoosiers came out of the locker room with purpose and assumed a 45-35 lead with 15:56 left to play. Indiana found a way to hold the explosive Wildcats at bay until the 7:30 mark when UK, down 9 points at the time, went on one final surge. 2 empty trips by Indiana offensively forced the Hoosiers to foul Doron Lamb with 5 seconds left on the clock. Up 71-70, Lamb sank the first.
And now you're in a situation where you have got to make one big play. Somebody's got to make a shot. Somebody has to step up. And we had not seen that kind of play made at Indiana in 3 years' time.
I kind of put my head down a little bit and said, there's no way this is happening. Not us, not again. We've been through too much. This team has been through too much. And when the ball came in, I saw Cody come down to set a screen, and I thought they're going to call foul, but he set a perfect screen.
You start with Cody's screen that got Verdell's free, then Verdell driving, and he had a great career, and he had a lot of great assists. But to make that decision and know I'm going to have confidence that he's going to knock this down.
At that point, I'm hoping for a 2. I just want the game to keep going because I felt like we were playing pretty well. When he shoots the 3 and you think, in that split second, if it doesn't go in, how painful that would be.
Then went back in, 19 for him. Here comes Riddell Jones. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Riddell all the way outside to Watford. 3 on the way. Oh! It went in! It went in! And Indiana wins the ball game! Tristan Watford with a 3! And the Hoosiers have knocked off the #1 ranked Kentucky Wildcats! Unbelievable! I'm sitting there, and it took me 30 seconds to realize, you know what? We just beat Kentucky here. And it wasn't long after that, I couldn't see a speck of hardwood on the court. One of the greatest all-time scenes, and even talking to you today, it kind of brings cold chills.
It's the moment you always dream about. You know how you growing up and you see people hit shots at the buzzer, and the crowd's running on the court, and everybody's celebrating. And the first thing you could just think about is going to go see your mom. And that was the first game she's ever been to, and it was an amazing feeling for me. So as soon as the shot went in, and as soon as the crowd rushed and everybody was celebrating, the first thing I thought about was, I think the reason why I won is because my mother's here, so I'm about to go find my mom.
Yeah, man, I just couldn't believe it. I turned around and I hugged my wife, and I was very emotional. And I had one of my sons there who's then sophomore at IU, and he was just gone. And I didn't know where he went until several hours later. He said he just got overcome. He ran around the press table there and jumped in the dog pile with the players. And told me later that Calbert Cheaney was yelling at him to get off number 40, that he was like laying on number 40. I'm like, number 40, that's Cody Zeller, man. And he's like, he thought it was the coolest thing ever that he was on Cody Zeller, and Calbert Cheaney was yelling at him to get the hell off of him.
For a minute, everybody jumped on me. I was holding like Victor up or something, and everybody came and I kind of fell. But I remember everybody started jumping on me, so I had to tell people to start getting off of me and stuff like that, because I was getting smushed at the bottom of the pile.
It was incredible. It was fun to see Christian knock down the shot, but then the reaction of the team afterwards and just the love that they all had for the people who were on the court at the moment, but then everybody on the whole team, and it was just pure elation and such a huge relief and happiness that I was just so happy for really all of them as a collective group.
This team really played well. I mean, Indiana played like a team. They played Indiana basketball. People want to talk about the Butler way and all these other things. There's an Indiana way to play the game of basketball too, and I think that is really what persuaded everybody that Indiana's back on the map again, and that they're back in national prominence with that win, because that was Indiana basketball at its finest.
I mean, there's rarely a specific point in time when any organization sort of turns the corner or changes. It's usually much more evolutionary than that. But that moment crystallized Indiana University basketball coming back.
Proving that the Kentucky game was no fluke, the Hoosiers did it again against Ohio State on New Year's Eve. Indiana got Buckeye standouts William Buford, Deshaun Thomas, and Jared Sullinger in foul trouble, while 5 Hoosiers scored in double figures en route to their second earth-shaking upset in just 21 days.
After Christian Watford hit the shot, we beat Kentucky here at home. And then we followed that up by beating Ohio State. It was interesting in that no one rushed the floor. It was almost an expectation that we're playing at home and we should win.
Victor Oladipo made 2 real big plays right before the half on steals off of Aaron Kraft and got Indiana the lead.
My teammates thrive off my energy. The crowd thrives off my energy. And, at the end of the day, basketball is what we love to do, and it's fun. And, so what's more fun than seeing a dunk or getting the crowd off their feet and everybody screaming, everybody jumping up and down, and, just seeing how much we love the game.
The minute before halftime, a couple of big shots that last minute, that was actually my favorite minute of up until the tournament. That was my favorite minute of the Big Ten season.
It was a true Big Ten heavyweight fight when you're seeing Cody Zeller and Jared Sullinger battle inside, and Cody went at Sullinger, got a 3-point play late in the game, and then Sullinger came back, got his own, and fouled Cody out.
Yeah, that was the first time that I played against Jared Sullinger, and I heard a lot about him. He's definitely a great player, obviously, since he's in the NBA now. But I think it was good for the team just to prove that the Kentucky game wasn't a fluke, that we were, we had made big improvements and that we really were a good team. So that was really a big game for us.